Welcome back guys, thanks for joining us today. The purpose of today's video is to talk about the DDJ 800 after 2 weeks of use. We're going to talk about some of the features that it has, how I've got on with it and where I think it belongs within the Pioneer range. I've posted a couple of mixes that I've recently done on it. Please have a look at the videos posted in this channel. And please comment, like and share. Thank you very much. Right, okay, so let's dive straight in and go through the DDJ 800 after 2 weeks of use. Right, so first of all, we're going to start by talking about the actual jog wheel and controller section itself. What I have found over the last 2 weeks is the actual jog display. I'm not tending to use it too much. Maybe it's because of the transition from the DDJ 400 where I'm consistently having to look at my record box on my computer or laptop, but I'm not tending to use it too much. Maybe that's something that will change over the next few weeks. Second part is the jog wheel adjust, whether it be heavy or light. I find that the heavy isn't quite firm enough. I feel that it maybe needs a little bit of extra options on there to make it a little bit tighter to nail in them scratches. And the light maybe also could deal with a little bit being a little bit looser. The next part that we're going to talk about is the track search and super fast search section. With this, we can skip to the next track by selecting this button, or if we hold it, it will fast search through this track or the song, so you can get to the part very quickly without having to use maybe the jog wheel. Performance pads and pad modes are excellent. My personal preference, I would have liked maybe the beat loop and the beat jump reversed. So we always have beat loop rather than the beat jump. I tend to use the beat loop for transitions, so more frequently than I use a beat jump. So in personal preference, I would say beat loop, then beat jump. Going back to the top of the controller jog wheel section of this controller, the slip reverse, slip and quantize are fantastic tools that are easily accessible, especially from, as I said, the transition from the 400. These options weren't available directly on the controller unit. They were accessible through the record box software on the laptop, which meant a lot of going to and from laptop. Q loop buttons, Q call, delete memory cues, all solid buttons, all fine. The tempo range and master tempo are good additional tools to have available. Honestly speaking though, I don't tend to use it too much. If you wanted to keep the other songs and tempos within a certain +6 or +10, then it's great. You can set that and then it will help define your mix. Though it's not something I really tend to use. Most of my music are really within the same sort of genre, and the BPMs tend to be about maybe +3, -3. So I don't tend to use it too much. In regards to the mic, unfortunately I haven't really had too much of an opportunity to test out the microphone outputs. Moving back onto the mixer section, very similar to the DJM range of Pioneer mixers. Fantastic layout, everything's very accessible, especially up at the top here with the load sections. We've got the toggle button to select your tracks, which one you want. We've got the deck access, deck 3, deck 1. Also phono line for inputs, whether we want to add 2 extra decks on there as well. It is 4 channels. I've tried to operate the mixer using 4 decks, which is extremely, I'd say, difficult when you're short of time, when you're in the middle of transitions and in the middle of a set. To go between deck 1 and deck 3, for example, you'd have to take your levels back to the preset on deck 1 before you can readjust it again, which becomes rather complicated and a little bit difficult at times. So if you are planning on using 4 jog wheels or 4 channels, then I would definitely recommend going for the DDJ 1000 as opposed to this, just out of convenience and ease. It is a little bit tricky, it's a little bit complicated. I'm sure with time you could probably overcome that. You could get used to returning the levels back to where they were before they can operate again. If it's starting out, it's very troublesome. It's a little bit complicated and difficult. So my recommendation, if you're looking for 4 channels, then go for the DDJ 1000. Spend a little bit of extra money. One thing I can say, as you can see, it looks pretty dirty. This is 2 weeks old. It's been in a room in a studio where I usually keep it. It's a little bit dark to do this video, but I usually keep it in the studio. No windows open, no nothing. And it is a bit of a dust magnet. As you can see, it's a little bit difficult to keep clean all the time, as we can see. So yeah, that is maybe one downside, but obviously nothing too much. One thing I've really enjoyed is the addition of the sound color effects and also the beat effects. My previous controllers have been the Newmark NV and the Pioneer DDJ 400. The 400 didn't have the beat effects or the sound effects on there, so it's nice being able to use them features on the actual controller rather than having to go to and from the record box software itself. A little troublesome, a little complicated to do that. It's a little bit time consuming to actually select the correct FX sound that you want. And yeah, so this is an absolutely massive welcome addition. I like being able to change the beat on it as well. Say for example the reverb 25, 50, 75, 100. It's just ease. Obviously if you're trying to do a transition and you quickly want to recover or add a bit of effects to that, then it's completely there directly in front of you without having to click. One of the biggest things that actually surprised me about this controller coming from the DDJ 400 was the quality of the sound output. Absolutely significant difference. The quality, the bass, the treble. I found on the 400 the bass didn't really come through as much. I used the same speakers, Pioneer DJ 500X speakers, fantastic speakers, but when plugged into the 800 controller, it just sounds fantastic. The speakers come alive, the bass is really deep and thumping bass, it's fantastic. So definitely a quality piece of equipment, and it is massively a step up for from the 400 controller. In terms of performance, it's been absolutely fantastic. I've had no crashes, no breakdowns, no nothing. It's absolutely sturdy, fantastic bit of kit. Absolutely love it. I think it's fantastic. Still very caught between the 1000 and the 800. I think size-wise, if you've got a little home studio, then it is it's a decent size for a home studio. Maybe the 1000 with the 4 channels is a little bit too big. So for me, it's ideal. Yes, I would like 4 channels to add a little bit of creativity to my transitions and my sets. Maybe add a acapella or 2, or maybe deck 3 or deck 4. But for me, for my situation at home, in terms of my studio, how big it is, then it's a perfect controller. As I mentioned, sound quality is absolutely fantastic. I've played around on the Pioneer RX before. Great, sounds very similar to that in terms of output through the same speakers. Lastly, I just want to talk to you about performance aspects. I've taken this out to a small club and 2 or 3 bars. The connectivity is fine. We've spoken about connectivity before in the previous video. Ease to set up, very quick. It's quite easy, quite portable. It's not a heavy unit at all. So in my opinion, it's an ideal unit controller. It's a fantastic addition to the Pioneer range. It really, in my opinion, is a really solid controller. Right guys, so I hope you enjoyed the video. I just wanted to share my opinions and my thoughts about the controller after using it for 2 weeks, and also in some performance aspects as well. Again, I think it's a fantastic controller. Really pleased that I purchased it. It's a great addition to the home studio. If you're a beginner DJ, then it might be something that you look into. If you're already an experienced DJ that's maybe looking for an addition to their home to practice and get prepared for some sets, then maybe this is something that you might be interested in. Or if you're maybe looking to upgrade, maybe from the old Pioneer range, RS, RZ controllers, then this may be something that you might want to consider. Okay guys, thank you very much. Please like, share and comment below, and subscribe of course. And thank you for watching the video. I hope to make a few more videos regarding some different content to do with Rekordbox and some different tricks and videos regarding sets and so on. Thank you very much.